curve, neutral, arch, neutral, curve, neutral, arch, neutral. Roll it down all the way to the floor. Soften those legs and gently straighten them just a little bit. We're not doing a deep stretch. You're just checking in with the back of your thighs. Good. Boop, boop. Come on up to flat back. Remember, we're lifting up through our floor, pelvic floor, and our waist. And we're gonna pinch those shoulders back here. And we're gonna take our elbows close, elbows side, elbows high. Shoulders stay down. We'll go back, side, high, back, side, high, back, side, high. Drop your squat, check your scoop, and again, back, side, high, shoulders down, side, high, back, shoulders down, and drop it up, drop it up, drop it up, drop it up, roll those shoulders back, roll, 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 roll. Comfortable turn out of the legs, scooch back, and arms up behind your head. See if you can find your 12 o'clock pelvis. You may just get to neutral in this position, like maybe you can't tuck all the way underneath. That's okay. We want to stay as close to neutral as possible. Hands by your ears, wide chest, and we'll go hips, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, hips, 2, 3. Keep lifting in and up, so we're hollowing up. Over, 2, 3, 4, up, 6, 7, 8, hips. Now notice your arms out is definitely more challenging than your arms by your ears, so you can modify if you want, as long as you're keeping this up and in. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, hips, 2, 1, 2, 1, hips, 2, 1, 2, hips, 2, 1. Stay there. Twist your pelvis flat. So we're out. We're gonna go diagonal flat back. Back to the side. Diagonal flat back. Back to the side. I'd rather that your knees be bent rather than hyperextended, so check them, make sure they're soft. Diagonal flat back. Take it center, center. 2, plie. Check your shoulders. 2, and straighten. And squat. And up. Other side. Open up. Bring it up. Shake those arms out. Up. 2. Diagonal flat back. Side. So I'm moving my hips. Flat back hips. Side hips. Keep it in and up. Shoulders are down. Keep it in and up. Shoulders are down. Okay, keep going. Coming center. Other side. Check your knees aren't locking up. Rise up. Arms down behind you. Bend those knees. Hold your knees open so knees are over toes. Pull your shoulders down. Little squats. Up. I'm pulling my hands down behind me. I'm going to show you what it looks like from the side. Yeah, little squats. Hollowed in. Shoulders back and open. I'm going to lean my head to the side. Knees staying open. Switch your next side. Make sure those knees are over the toes. So we don't want our knees to fall towards center. Come up. Whoosh. All right, let's get down to the floor. We haven't done our fully getting to the floor training yet, so let's work on that today. All right. First of all, this is your right leg. This is your left leg, yeah? So I'll be your mirror. And I want you first to just ignore this top leg and take a look at this leg that's down here on the ground. So if we were doing a butterfly stretch, I'm gonna take that leg, I'm gonna scoot it a little bit towards center. So my heel is basically center, but maybe a little bit past. I want you to look at this ankle, yeah? The position of this ankle is super important for what we're about to do. If my ankle is bent, like a normal human shape, standing, yes, then when I do this exercise, I'm gonna either torque my ankle or torque my knee. Neither of those feel good. So what we do for this rolling up exercise is point your foot. Yeah? Let's just sit up tall for a moment. Let's do neck rolls, which we know how to do because they're just forward and back up. So let's do that. But let's alternate between flexed and pointed foot just to get it in our heads what that means. Yes? Hollow up and we'll go head, neck, shoulders. Remember your lower back stays up and in. Shoulders, neck, head. Now point your feet and we'll go head, neck, shoulders, and shoulders, neck, head. Flex your feet and head, neck, shoulders. And you're probably learning from this, if you don't already know, that pointing your feet is not a passive activity. Head, neck, shoulders, shoulders, neck, head. Flex your feet and head, neck, shoulders, and shoulders together. Neck, long, head. Point your feet, roll down. 2, 3, 4. Arms up, keep your ribs tucked together. And arms come back to above your shoulders. Head, neck, shoulders. Point your feet all the way up, friends, and head roll. Neck, shoulders, shoulders back, neck, head. Flex your feet, roll down, down. From the base of the spine, lower back touches. Keep your core engaged. Arms go up, but don't release your core. Arms come back up, head, neck, shoulders. Reach through your heels, coming upright. And head forward, neck forward, shoulders forward, shoulders back, neck, head. Point your feet. Last time, roll down. 2, 3, 4. Keep your core in against the floor. 12 o'clock pelvis if you can. Now we come back up with our head, neck, shoulders. Reach through those toes. All right, beautiful. Okay, so pointed feet. When we look down upon our pointed feet, we're gonna have that same alignment. Hip bone, hip socket, center of the knee, through the center of the ankle, and the second toe, just like we always love to see, yes? Not sickled. In dance, we call this shape aligned versus sickled, yes? So this sickled shape is often how we roll our ankles, so we want to practice that alignment because we're building up strength by practicing it. Okay, that side. Let's bend your right leg and actively point that foot so that this becomes one log that can roll forward and back from your knee to your toe. We're going to take our other leg on top. Keep pointing that foot, and we're just going to rock our head forward so that the crown of the head rises up to where that toe is. Reach and come back up. Head, neck, shoulders, shoulders, neck, head. Let's just leave our arms there. Let's do it exactly like a neck roll, like we just did in that other position. Head, neck, shoulders, shoulders, neck, head. Now go a little further. Head, neck, shoulders, chest, chest, shoulders, neck, head. Roll down part way to switch your legs. Make sure that bottom leg is staying pointed. Head, neck, shoulders, shoulders, neck, head, head, neck, shoulders, chest, chest, shoulders, neck, head. Now both feet up. Stick your hands underneath here. And I'm giving you all these pieces. We're going to layer them together in a moment, okay? Rolling like a ball. You're on your balance point is the name of this spot. It's just slightly behind my sits bones. My body is upright. My scoop is scooped up and in. My knees are together. My hands are behind my knees. And I'm going to roll down to roll like a ball. So I'm going to curve my back from the bottom to the top. Stay round all the way through. And then ding! You straighten your back and press your chest forward and your shoulders down to come back to your balance point. Let's do that a few times. Curve from the bottom of the back. Rock back, stay round. Come back up and ding! And curve, rock, rock, ding! And curve, rock, rock, ding! Curve, rock, rock, ding! Curve, rock, rock, ding! Curve, rock, rock, ding! Grab those ankles. Clap, clap. The seal, like the ocean seal, yes? Oh, oh, oh. Go ahead and curve, rock, rock, ding. Curve, rock. Clap your fins, your flippers, and come back up. Ding. Curve, clap your flippers. Remember, for the seal, the less challenging version is one clap in each location. And you can add up to 3 total claps in each location if you can, as you become able to hold your up position. 1, 2, 3, and come back up. Good. Okay, now we're gonna add those things together, yes? Let's go ahead and bend that right leg. And what we're gonna do here is roll down in this position, and you could hold on to one leg if you wanted to, but we're gonna eventually do it without. And what I'm going to do is pass here with that feeling of ding. So head, neck, shoulders, chest, ding, to get to this position where we're about to stand. So let's rewind that for one moment. I want you to just step your righty back. And we've done a stretch here where we're in parallel, but this is turned, right? And it's not flexed, because if it's flexed, it's harder to roll over that shin. Pointed foot, and you would press up on the top of that foot, because there's not time to switch your foot to the ball of the foot, which is often the tricky part because we're used to standing on the underside of our foot. This is helpful not only because it's clever and cool to be able to get up this way, but learning how to fall is really good for your health because you can save your ankle if you know how to just go down. Okay, super slow motion. Take that back foot, your right foot, and put the top of your foot on the ground. If you want to hang out with the wall while we learn this, that's fine too. Top of the foot on the ground. And then you're going to curve your back to get to the floor. Yeah? So go ahead and use your hands for a moment and just feel what it feels like to roll over the top of this shin. And if you don't point that foot and you're trying to get over it, it's gonna feel like a twist in the ankle or a twist that you might feel in the knee each time. So pointed foot and just rock over the top of it a couple times. And then switch sides when you're ready and just rock over the top of that. And make sure you're holding it pointed so it's not uncomfortable. Yeah? I mean, it could still be uncomfortable, but it won't be uncomfortable in your ankle as opposed to if you're flexed. Look at that. I can't get over it. It's like a roadblock. Pointed foot. Yeah? Okay. Ready to add all those things together? I'm gonna face the other side. Boop, 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 boop. Let's take... Are we ready to try the left side? Let's try the left side. And come to the wall. Taking this foot back, I'm gonna lower down, and I'm going to keep that foot as perpendicular to my direction as possible. Curve the body, rock back, come forward, check your leg, you can see it as you come forward, head, neck, shoulders, and then you press off the top of the foot to rise. I'm gonna do it to the front. Right leg goes back, whoosh, down, rock, up, head, neck, shoulders. So before I'm pushing off the floor, I've got my shoulders as far forward as this knee, and my hips are over the back leg, and that makes it just a press into the floor to come up. Try the other side. Lower it down. Lots of strength in this front leg. Rock it back. Come on up. Oh, I see it happening, you guys. That's great. Okay. Let's try 3 more times on the other side. You can do 3, 2, 1, and 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna alternate, which is kind of advanced, but it's actually more fun. In your own time, you don't have to keep up with me, yeah? But I'll do it fun for a little bit. Whee! Up. Whee! Up. Whee! Up. Whee! Up. Whee! Up. Whee! Up. And then come back down to the floor. Good job. Awesome, you guys. All right, let's come on to our backs. Flop it out for a moment. Pelvic rocks, arch, neutral, arch, neutral. Arms down by your side, connect the back of your arms firmly with the earth. Neutral, arch, neutral, arch, neutral. Stay in your 12 o'clock and roll it up. 2, 3, 4. Pause here, you're like halfway up. Can you push your shoulders down your back further and lengthen the back of your neck up away from your pelvis so you feel like you have a really long back of the neck. Right here, we're gonna squeeze our glutes to get a little higher. Don't let your legs splay, please. Hold them tight. 3, 4, push. Hollow out tummy, long neck. Roll it down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Lift those legs up. Head, neck, shoulders. Tuck them in for a second. Let out all your air. And hollow out your pelvic floor and your abs. Lifting up. Halfway up legs. Here we go on hundreds. We'll go bounce those arms. You could try it with straight legs. Remember to make a little extra chin here by tucking your chin here so that the back of our neck stays long. Hollow out your core if you lost it a little. All right, a little more challenge. 4 inches out with those legs. Bring them back in if you lose your scoop. And in, relax your head and neck. Turn it side to side. Let go of any lingering tension. Single leg stretch. Up, lower, higher, down. Up, lower, higher, down. Remember, you're hollowing up, so do exhale as you come up. And release it. Knees over to the right. Let your back relax. You know how when you're really stressed out, your shoulders, your upper trapezius tend to really hold on to tension and they just feel all knotted up and big, like a big football player up here? One of the ways that we can combat that kind of stress and tension is to consciously take a moment and really try and relax in between our exercises. Because we don't really want our traps to be working that hard. We want our abs to be working that hard and our rhomboids and our subscapularis. We want our shoulders to stay down rather than rising up with that extra tension. Go ahead and switch sides and really try and let your neck and shoulders, let everything relax so we're not just clinging to that tension. Let it go. Breath can really help with that. So big breath in. Good. When you're ready, come back center. We're going to roll onto our abs. Put the mountain back on the wall. There we go. All right, legs together, arms out. Resting your forehead on the mat. First, we're going to start with our pelvic floor lift, Pilates scoop, lengthening our tailbone to neutral, and we're just going to layer up from there. So first, we're going to go pelvic floor, Pilates scoop. Relax Pilates scoop, relax your floor. Floor up, scoop in, scoop out, floor down. Up, in, out, down. Up, in, out, down. And I haven't even moved my spine at all yet. This is all soft tissue work that we want to be able to layer for stability. All right, let's add the pelvic cluck. I'm going to now activate my legs together. I'm going to go pelvic floor up. Pilates scoop in, lengthen my tailbone, so I'm trying to go towards neutral pelvis, All right, relax the pelvis, relax the lower back, relax your Pilates scoop, but not your pelvic floor. And now relax your pelvic floor and your legs. Pelvic floor. Scoop in. Legs in. Pelvis neutral. Release the pelvis. Release the scoop. Release the legs. Release the pelvic floor. Tiny movements, it's the coordination of them that we're working on here. Here we go. Floor up, scoop in, legs together, pelvis. Pelvis, legs out, scoop out, pelvic floor out. Scoop up, floor up, scoop in, legs, pelvis, pelvis, belly, floor. All right. I didn't make it through that one because my legs let go even though I didn't mean them to let go. That's the kind of attention that we want to work on when we're doing this. But let's move on to bigger movements now. Okay, here we go. Floor in, scoop in, legs together, pelvic clock. Now we're pulling our weight up away from the floor through the belly, but our thighs are in full contact. Shoulders down, and we're going to lift our head. Neck, shoulders right, arm, take it down. 2, your scoop and floor and legs are still in, head, neck. Shoulders left, arm, down. 2, check your legs, floor and scoop, and we go head, neck. Shoulders right, arm, down. 2, is your back still feeling long, I hope? Head, neck. Shoulders left, arm, and down. 2, check your pelvic floor and scoop, and we'll do both arms. 2, both arms rise. Try not to push your belly out when you get to the top, and we'll go head, neck, shoulders up, rise, down. 2, keep scooping it up. Friends again, neck, shoulders up, hold. Check that scoop. Check your floor. I certainly was pushing out on mine. Take your arms back. Recheck your scoop and floor. Whoop, whoop. Lengthen the back of the neck. Legs up, and we'll go tiny kicks. Use your hamstrings. Hollow out your core some more. Reach your tailbone down away so you have a long back. Long back, long back, long back, long back, long back. Arms forward, you're almost done. Arms by your wrists. Press it up. Back to your hips, to your feet. Push with your hands here, really opening up that lower back. Stretch through the lower back and the hips. Find a moment to relax everything. All right, roll up on top of those hips. Remember, we don't want to be crossing our toes underneath ourselves here. We want to keep those feet in line with our shins, just like we did earlier. Yeah? All right, belly, we're going to drop the pelvic floor. We're going to release our Pilates scoop and feel how that sort of spreads your heaviness down, yeah? Thighs might be stretching for a moment. Let's keep our thighs parallel, but just reach back and let yourself stretch your quads out. You might not feel it at this place, sort of depends on how tight you are each day. I like to do a little roll side to side with my hips because it gets inside and outside, or medial and lateral quads, a little bit more of a stretch. All right, let's come back up and we will do our flow. Here we go. We're going to take a big breath in. We're going to lift up our pelvic floor and we're going to pull in our Pilates scoop, and then we're going to exhale and tilt the pelvis back to 12 o'clock. Squeeze your legs together, zip it up and in. Here we go. Place that bacon across your hips. Keep yourself in 12 o'clock and push the floor away with your feet to rise up. And then we're going to tip it back deeper and just come back to start. So the thing that we're trying to avoid when I say put the bacon on your hips, stay in 12 o'clock, is that most of us rise from this position by swooping our head forward, or at least, even if we start here, we usually stick our booties out. But I want you to hold your pelvis in that tipped position, press with your thighs without using your back muscles to sway you up, okay? All right, add the whole thing together. Big breath in, exhale, curve it. Stay back, lift, deepen. Make sure your thighs are still parallel, especially if you have sensation in your knees right now. Come to flat back, lifting up, pelvic floor and scoop. Fall to your hands. Drop your head, neck, chin, chest past your hands. Here you go. Elbows in head, neck, chin, chest. Elbows against the body. Press it up, lower down. Now we're going to keep our chest on the floor if at all possible. Practice by pushing like you're brushing some dirt off your mat. Whoosh, whoosh. Okay, elbows in. Use that same action and push yourself back onto your feet. Stay as low as you can. Elbows in. Roll it up. Dive through flat back. Nose, chin, chest. Press it up. Lower back down. Stay low. Get home. Come up. Exhale. Rise up. Exhale. Flat back. Feel that centering effort, pulling your thighs together helps you stay balanced. Pressing up, shoulders back, lower down. Stay down. Turn your head to the side, enjoy a 5-second nap. Let go of your tension. Flip your head to the other side, friends. Let your neck tension release. Good. Pelvic floor up. Scoop up. We're going to walk your elbows underneath your shoulders. And then I want you to just slouch here for a moment so that you feel where your body will likely try to go. And that is your hands will drift towards each other or your elbows will sneak out wide and your shoulders come up to your ears when we slouch. And my chin usually pokes forward, which of course we don't want to do, right? Okay. So the front half of your Sphinx, shins, your forearms are going to be parallel. We're going to roll our shoulders back. So do that a few times. So big circles of your shoulders. And notice how much of that movement has to do with where your ribs are. So we're going to take our shoulder blades and we're going to pull them down and back. And that will help us lift our spine up through the crown of the head. Lots of activity there. Now I have such a big arch in my lower back. Can you see that? Yeah? So I want to take some of that pressure out, and I'm going to do that by resetting my Pilates scoop and floor and going to neutral spine. Here we go. Pelvic floor, Pilates scoop, neutral spine, roll those shoulders back. And now I've got all of my body off the mat until I get to the very bottom of my hip bones, and even those aren't really touching, I gotta tell you. Okay. Here's the exercise on top of all of that. We're gonna just flex each leg at the knee. Here you go bend. 2, 3, take it down, up, bend. 2, 3. Everything else that's going on is a hold, squeeze, lift. Down, bend. 2. Can you press your heart forward? Active hands into the mat. If you're really pressing your arms, you can feel the back of your arms working. If you're pressing your hands into the mat. All right, let's take it back. Walk your hands forward and open that chest. All right, we're gonna come to our side. Let's come down a little bit lower. So what I'd like to work on today, if you've noticed, I'm thinking a lot about shoulder location as well. So I'm gonna have you come down, down to your elbow. I'm gonna place this hand spread out on the mat, and I'd like you to first just think about that shoulder coming up to your earlobe, feeling that it feels like when it's relaxed and your ribs are dropped, and then roll your shoulder back and press and make that space. Yeah, so we're doing like a relax here of the shoulder, and then you're gonna anchor that bottom shoulder down into your back. Relax it and just, it's not, I don't want it to be a lot of weight on that shoulder because I'd like you to do it precisely. So here it is rolled back, here it is coming up to my ear. Roll it back, coming up to my ear. Roll it back, coming up to my ear. Let's switch sides. And remember, anytime when I am talking a lot during class, I'm hoping that you are trying it along with me. So please don't feel like you have to wait for me to stop talking. Hopefully by now you're all used to how much I talk. A lot. It's like Zoom teacheritis. All right, so that shoulder down. And I can feel really like an action of sort of shoulder sliding up and down. I also want to feel this sort of like my shoulders going back and my heart's coming a little bit forward. And that's the feeling like when you roll your shoulder back as opposed to just up and down. So feel a roll back to really get that feeling. Yeah, roll back. Okay, here we are. You're on, I'm gonna assume you're on your left arm. I'm gonna lift my hips up. I'm gonna touch down, and I'm gonna roll my shoulder back feeling just to get all the way open. So I'm touching down and coming back up flat. Touching down, and I'm opening back up. Let's switch sides. Now what I don't want you to do here is to practice a bunch of these where your shoulder's just up the whole time and you're not getting it down. I'd rather you do fewer or smaller of them and really try to get to that open place, yeah? Looks easy, but doesn't feel as easy as it looks. Bring it down and open that chest up all the way. And bring it down and open it all the way. And bring it down and open it up all the way. Let's stop there. Knees front, crazy clams. Hips are right on top of each other, shoulders down, as in, floor lifted, crazy clam kicks. Let's put a hand on top of our hips today and really be clear about that hip staying right on top of its partner. Yeah, so we're not rocking back because that would not be focusing on your underbutt chisel. Okay, open. Send your feet forward. So there's your fishy tail out there. My torso's in one line. My legs are forward of my body. And I'm gonna lift that top leg, turn it in, turn it out and close. Take it front, turn it in, turn it out and close. Take it back, turn it out and close. In, out, close, forward, in, out, close, back, in, out, and bend both legs. Now we're back in that office chair position, like as though a chair just fell over on its side. I'm gonna straighten my back, top leg down. Let your hips go a little too far, just feel that feeling. Stack them back up on top of each other. We're gonna do tiny leg lifts here. Go ahead and look down your body at your leg. Can you lift your floor and your abs in so your lower back is lengthened? Lots of us drift this leg forward, so let that leg stay in line with your torso. And then can we, if all that's going fine, you can add an extra layer of anchoring that floor shoulder down, which will start to bring your ribs away from the floor. Notice how the weight of your leg wants to pull you sideways. Hold that torso in line. It's quite challenging to do all those things at once. Mentally, even if not physically. Okay, let's switch sides. Knees front. Remember, your hips are staying right on top of each other, so we're really using this underbutt chisel area. Your external rotator muscles live here. Let's add the kick. We'll go straighten that leg, bend that leg, close it. And your torso staying perfectly still. All right. Send your legs out long. Up parallel, turn it out, lower. Forward parallel, turn it out, lower. Back parallel, make sure you're using your thigh to rotate, not just your ankle. Good, good. Bend both legs. Realign your torso. Top leg's gonna slide out. Check it's really in line. Tiny lift and lower. Thinking about the 4 spots on your torso, shoulder, shoulder, hip, hip, and how we want to keep those all in one plane. So you're a nice steady rectangle. And if you want, you can start to draw that shoulder down and lift your ribs off the floor. Good, bring it in. Come back to your back and roll it up to seated. We're gonna do some leg lifts for the medial quadriceps. So those are the quadriceps that are on the inside of your thigh. They're knee stabilizers, so they're really good for you if you have knee issues. All right, pulling up and in from the pelvic floor, shoulders back. If you'd like to put some fists down or fingertips or one finger or no fingers, that would be great. Stack it up. We're gonna relax the leg each time it touches the floor. So don't just hover, please. Let it go all the way. We're gonna go lift, release, lift, release, lift, release, lift, release, release. So I want you to feel this. If these are my kneecaps that I'm holding right now, I want you to feel it where your thumb would be. So go ahead and hold your kneecaps, and just above your thumb is where that medial quadricep is. Yeah, so just above your kneecap to the inside. And if I hold it all the time, I don't feel as much of that quadricep going, hello, ah, hello, ah. That's what I want you to feel. Check everything else. Good. Roll it down to your lower back. We're gonna stuff our hands underneath our waists. Take a moment here and just relax your neck under your shoulders. Let everything stay soothed for a moment. All right, let's stack it all back up, starting with your pelvic floor, and then your Pilates scoop, and then your shoulders back, and a nice long neck. And then curve to 12 o'clock if you can. I'm really compressing in and up, and I'm gonna take my, let's say, right leg out, and we'll lift, release it, lift, release it, lift, release it. And now I'm flexing my foot on this activity partially because I want to be really clear with myself about where a parallel leg is, right? So I'm not doing this turned out, although that's fun. We'll just take different muscles if we do turned out. You can come off your elbows and do this with just ab compression if you can hold your hips steady. If your hips are twisting out while you do that with no elbows, go ahead and go back to your elbows. Switch legs. Keep recompressing that pelvic floor up, belly in, lower back on the floor, hips steady. Good, release your head, come down center, place your hands on your belly, slide those legs out, and feel how sliding your legs out definitely arches your back away from the floor, right? There's room in here. I want you to take a big breath in, fill your belly up and stick it out like you're trying to pretend to be a pregnant woman. All right, exhale. Compress that belly, lift up the pelvic floor, and pull your abs down to the floor. Let your knees bend just a little bit. Slide your knees in. Extend them up. Recompress. Hollow up. Head, neck, and shoulders up. Double leg stretch with arms is what this is called. I want you to maintain 12 o'clock pelvis and maintain your Pilates scoop and your pelvic floor lift. Good, roll it to your side. Go ahead and come onto the side and grab the top thigh. We're going to take our heel directly into our buns. So no twisty, please. Directly into your buns, and then press that thigh back to stretch your thigh. And if you can, add in a contracted stomach. And if you can pull the 12 o'clock pelvis in this stretch, then you're going to feel the stretch not only in your thigh, but also in your hip flexors. Yay! Good. Switch sides. Good, release it. Switch sides. Number 4 stretch. So you've got one leg crossed with the ankle over the other thigh. The bent leg's arm is going through. You're gonna hold hands behind that thigh. Draw the thigh in. But this is really all about pushing that top knee open. So if you're not feeling it in the bent legs, hip buttock area, that's where we wanna feel it. And you can increase the stretch even more by pressing that knee out or by drawing the thighs in. Some people like to squish it in. That's a lot on the knee for some folks. Many versions of number 4, but it's called number 4 because it looks like an old-fashioned number 4, yeah? Good, switch your legs. Good. Rock it up. Butterfly stretch. Big breath in, lengthen through the spine, and exhale. Tip your pelvis a little bit further forward and really let your head go all the way down. Release that neck. Wrap it up. Let's go ahead, send your legs straight out. Go ahead and place your fists underneath your knees. So we have bent knees, but perfectly parallel legs. So knees and toes are going straight up for this final stretch. Head reaching towards your toes. And the reason why we're bending our knees is because we don't want to feel the stretch behind our knees or right where your leg inserts into your buttocks. We don't want to feel the stretch in those two places because those are your tendons and ligaments stretching. We don't want that to happen. We want to feel the stretch in the body, the center part of your hamstrings, so the back of your thighs in the middle. If you feel like you're feeling this mostly in your upper back, it's probably because your knees are too straight. Let's bend those knees. Stick your booty out behind you and lay over really bent legs. That's fine. As long as you're feeling the stretch in the hamstrings. It's the right location. So 30 more seconds here and we'll be all done for today. Big deep breath. Roll on up. You did it! Huzzah! Thanks, everybody. Have a great spring break next week.